Hey guys, I got a big bag of locks from Roger Moore, and you know with a cool name like that, his user ID for YouTube must be 007. Of course it is. Anyway, all these locks were inside of a plastic bag, and he'd made my life difficult by putting these two little, I guess, little suitcase locks on it. And these generally, if you guys have ever seen these, are really difficult to get a tension wrench into. But you don't have to. They're pretty easy if you just get yourself. This is a worm rake, and really the worm is shorter profile than the typical Bogota. It's a little smaller, so you can fit it into tinier keyways. That's really what this thing is designed for. And what we're going to do, we're not going to use a tension wrench. You just put it in, and while you're doing a little bit of raking, you turn it just like a key. And more often than not, if I get it to cooperate here, that's how quick these things are to open. So again, we'll do it with this little ABUS. So if you need to get into suitcases, this is the key of choice. It's faster than the key. All right, anyway, he sent me, and again, this came with a 3-page letter. So I'm going to paraphrase here. This is a very old Yale. He got it in a yard sale. It is an old warded lock, and this thing has had a rough life. If it looks like somebody has tried to hacksaw their way through this thing at some point, I mean, he's had a hard life. I don't know how long it's been since it's opened, but I can feel slight movement in the shackle. It's a really pretty collector's item, but because it is an old lock, many times these can be bypassed. Let me get the bypass toolkit open here real quick. I should have had this laid out beforehand. And you guys have probably seen these keys before. These are little bypass, just standard skeleton keys for this type of lock. And this is all the keys minus that baby one, which is made for suitcases. These are all the keys you need to get into any of these older style locks. That's really why they fell out of favor. And what you do, you find one that will fit into the slot. And this is a really big slot. So I'll start with this double cross one. See if we can get into this thing. And you just put it in as far as you can, and then you'll feel it on the actuator, and you turn it, and that's how easy it is. I got lucky. This probably will open with almost any of these. But anyway, that's how you open. If you take a look, man, this thing hasn't been open in probably 100 years. Look at that thing. That is a serious... Somebody almost got into this lock at some point in its life. Anyway, if there are any Yale collectors out there that want this or want to cut a key for it, PM me and you got it. And speaking of PMing me, he also sent some locks for giveaways. These are, he says he wants to donate these to the community. I'll probably make your life hard by repinning these with something evil. This is actually a pretty good lock. It's an American lock. And this other one is a Corbin. Again, a very nice old lock. I'll probably repin these with some evil technology and get it to you. This next lock is probably not going to be so easy. This is a Sergeant, and by the way, I have a bag of keys here that came with it. This was pinned up by Jeff Moss, so I know better than to grab this one. I've failed on many of Jeff's evil locks. He has two evil locks here. Well, this one is actually marked Evil Guy. Says he hasn't been able to pick this one, and this is his challenge lock that he pinned up with homemade pins. He calls it the Duke. So probably not going to grab that one right off the bat. Let's take a look at this. He says this is a national lock, and I don't know. It says made in Taiwan. This thing is in pretty bad shape. He says he hasn't been able to get it open, so let's see what we can do. Probably not going to. Somebody really did a good job of wire brushing this. Just a tip, when you pick up one of these locks that looks like it's rusty, check it by pushing down on your shackle. And if there's no give, like there isn't on this one, and you can see down inside of there, there's rust, and there's that band where the wire brush couldn't reach, that tells you this is probably rusted closed. We may still be able to pick it though, but we probably won't be able to get that shackle open. And here we go. Another tip is when you put your tension wrench and there's no give on the core at all. So while externally he might have gotten rid of all the rust, Roger, this lock is not ever going to open again probably. This thing is rusted close. I don't know how long it was in the weather or in the ground, but it's best days are past it by. We got a best padlock. I love these. These are really nice locks, usually. So let's see if we can use the same tension wrench. And we will try the same worm. There's a couple ways to get this. I like to try to rake them first, and if that doesn't work, a lot of times we can bitch pick them. And then if that doesn't work, we'll try it the hard way, we'll SPP it. Anyway, light tension as always, and if we get lucky we can get this guy to control. Then we can throw this core away and put a new one in. We can salvage the body of the lock. That would be great. Light tension on these, and a lot of times you can just rake your way in if you're lucky. And I feel lucky. I feel a little give on the core. Okay, we may have to go to a bitch picking style. Man, it feels, definitely get a false set out of this thing. He didn't say that this was a custom pinned one. So I'll tell you what, instead of this worm, I'm going to try, just in case it has a little bit more extreme bitting, we'll go right to the regular Bogota and see if that does us any good. And there we go. So apparently there's some wide bitting, but there's no security pins in this thing. I wish we could have got that to control. We could have got that core out of there. Anyway, I'll keep trying. Anyway, Roger, thank you, sir, for the lock. I'm not going to ruin this video by trying to go after Jeff Moss's challenge lock, nor yours. I'll save those for a separate video. Anyway, fellas, thanks for your time. Stay safe, stay legal. And Roger, thank you, sir, for this big pile of locks.